Okay, I'm back. The next thing I'm going to show you is I'll kind of show you underneath how everything is connected. You can see that outfeed gizmo is just kind of holding the table up. I've got my dust collection connected to the router and the saw. And this here is where the router is. And I just made a box and put some holes in it there so the air kind of flows through. It works real well for dust collection. It comes with a bunch of zero clearance things, and it's an old router, my oldest one. And that pretty much is how that works. Now, I purchased this on eBay. It's a piece that fits in there. I got it on eBay, and I used to have a piece of wood here, kind of similar to that. And it actually worked fine. I thought that I would want the miter tracks like that, having so many more, but I have used it for feather boards, and that's about it. And like I said, you can move this bar here. You can see underneath, if you can see those, there are some little devices that kind of make that work. So anyway, that's that part of it. I would show you up here. I put a kind of a little hang down table above. These are the safety devices I use. I use a micro jig probably more than anything, but I use all of them at one time or another. And I have some parts to the micro jig that I got hanging here, and I'm always grabbing one thing or another, trying to keep myself from getting hurt, being one of those people that happens to. What I'm going to show you here is this particular blade. Now it's a Freud Premier Fusion. This one was a 40 tooth blade, thin curve. So I think it's 3/32, something like that. I want to tell you something. I have some really expensive blades that I put away. This is the only blade I use now. This blade makes this little 15 amp saw. I mean, geez, the motor on this thing isn't that big around. It's a little dinky motor. It goes through everything like it's butter. I haven't even sharpened it yet, and I've had it for 2 years almost. When they came out, not too long after that, when they came out with this thin curve. So they're about $80 now. I think I got it on a deal for $59 or something like that. But I saw it. I think I've seen it where you get like a gift card with it for $20 or something like that, and you pay full price, but you get $20 gift card or something like that. I've made this. This goes over my fence. You've seen things like this. I added this T-track. I really probably didn't need to, but anyway. And what I did is I took this channel on top of the fence is square, and I got this from one of the router things. This little square piece inside, so I can even clamp it down. But I've got a handle on it, so it'll also move. So what I have to do is I lay it on here, pull it backwards, and that square part goes in. And then I can tighten this, and now it won't move. And what's good about this is a little higher, so I can take things, and I'll find something over here that I can use, and I can take a couple of these. Say that I want to make a slot at the end of the board, or I want to put in now I put this higher T-track. I originally had the lower one. Then I realized this is not very safe. What if this vibrates loose and drops down and hits the blade? So I wanted it up high enough so if this dropped down, it wouldn't hit there. But you know what I use more than anything now is I very seldom use these, although I do sometimes. But I can just take a regular, you know, just any clamp and clamp to this, and then I can have this loose, and I can slide it right through the saw. But it's taller, it's safer, everything's safe about that part of it. Now, after I did that, then I ran into something I was mortising, I think, or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but it was taller, and I got really nervous. So then I went ahead and I took his scrap piece of wood. I put some of these T-bolts in here, and now I can go ahead and slide this on, tighten this up so it doesn't move. Naturally, usually it goes on pretty quick, but I do everything with such high tolerance that just kidding. Anyway, once I get that started, and these are embedded in the wood, I just tighten this up. Now I can go to a taller piece, clamp it low and high, and then so I can slide this back and forth, and I gotta loosen this a little more. Anyway, slide this back and forth, and I can, of course, same thing. I can clamp a tall. Say that this was much taller, I can get way up here high, and then I would also put a clamp down low. So that, didn't take very long to add that. And of course, most of these things, I only add them after I usually wait until I've done something twice, and it's like, okay, I'm going to make a jig now. And sometimes I'll stop right in the middle of the project and do it, because I know I won't do it later. So anyway, there's that one. Now, I also made this. This is, I forget what you call this plastic stuff that you see at the shows and you buy some. Anyway, it slides nice and easy. And I cut it out with a dado blade, so I can cut it out here with a dado blade. So you can see that it fits, same thing, it fits in here. And of course I can raise the blade and line it up and everything, and I can run things through without changing dado blades. I can move this away or closer to do a very quick, fast rabbet. I also meant to show you on the. Oh yeah, here's another one. Now this one I made out of parts and pieces I had left over from some other things I made, and what I do with this is, and this I ran into it and I thought, okay, I did it. Had to do something twice that I really needed clamping. So what I do is, and of course I'm going to go ahead and just tighten this here. I tighten this, and then I have a couple pieces of wood like this, and I can slide it up and down. All I have to do is loosen it here. And I've got another one. I just didn't have it tightened. But anyway, that way I've got a sacrificial piece on the back side. But anyway, that I can slide like a leg or something like that. Something that's wider that's going to go that way over it. So that only, I just used stuff I had laying around again. So that was very handy. Anyway, I do have other things that I use on this, but those I use all the time. I do, you saw this miter bar a bit ago. I love this thing, especially this stop. And I made a bunch of these sacrificial pieces. In fact, this one I've chopped down. It was out to there. But it's got, the stops on it are positive. So you feel each one of these, God, there's a gazillion of them. So as you're adjusting to the angle you want, it's very positive, and you can go back, you mark it and go back to it, and it's exactly where it was before. So anyway, I know there's some other things with this, but its dust collection isn't the best in the world. It works, but it's just not that great. But it's better than nothing. And I think that does it. I didn't think it would go that fast. I know there's other things I do with it. I just can't remember what they are. But anyway, for $4.99, And I've seen them lower than $200 on Craigslist before, and some people hardly ever use them. So, and very easy to move around. Very easy to move around. So for a second saw, if you've got room, be kind of nice to put something in it that you're going to leave in it that you don't use very often or something like that. So anyway, thank you.